Court in Abuja has resumed hearings in a suit filed by suspended Senator Natasha Akpabio against the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and the Nigerian Senate. Senator Akpabio, representing Kogi Central, was suspended for 6 months in March 2025 following allegations of misconduct and making disruptive remarks during plenary sessions. Now, Akpabio is contending that her suspension was a retaliatory act after she accused President of the Senate, Akpabio, of sexual harassment. Now, recall that earlier in April, the court barred both parties from making public comments on the case to prevent prejudice of the proceedings. Now, today's hearing is expected to address motions filed by both legal representatives. Right now, our correspondent Joshua Imarai joins me from the court for some updates. Hello, Joshua. If you can hear me, what's the latest on the court proceedings?
Good morning to you, Blessings. Right from live here at the Federal High Court in Abuja. And I can tell you for sure that the entire proceeding has been adjourned till tomorrow, Tuesday, 13th, to hear on the contempt issue. Now, this is how it happened. Upon commencement of proceedings this morning, the entire parties announced to the court that they have filed the necessary paperwork and the necessary document for the trial to resume hearing as order. Well, the entire thing took a drastic turn as the counsel representing the Senate, that's the person of Paul Dauda, told the court that there was an initial ruling that no social media posts should be made, and the court had ordered that there should be no social media publication or streaming. Then the counsel representing the Senate, however, said that the plaintiff in this issue, that is Senator Natasha Akpabio, had flouted that rule and informed the court that he had filed the necessary paperwork and application to show that there was a contempt to court. Well, the counsel representing Natasha and Senator Natasha Akpabio objected, saying that particular social media post she made earlier was unconnected to the entire issue. That the issue before the Senate now is the contention of a suspension, saying that it was illegal and was premeditated as a result of the issue she raised. They argued back and forth. Well, the court in its wisdom had to adjourn to tomorrow, 12 o'clock, to hear on the contempt suit. That means the entire proceedings, the hearing on a suspension and a responsibility in the Senate is on hold until the rule on the contempt suit filed before Honorable Justice Peter Yaku.
Okay, guys, this Akpabio's case versus Natasha takes new turn. Senator Natasha Akpabio, who recently appeared at the Federal High Court in Abuja, where a hearing was set to proceed regarding the Senate President Godswill Akpabio's allegation that she violated a court order. Justice Binta Yako had on Monday fixed a date for the hearing of the contempt claim by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio against Natasha Akpabio. Justice Binta Yako also said she would hear the earlier contempt charge filed by Akpabio against Akpabio, the Senate, and others over allegations of disobedience to an earlier court order. Now, this legal dispute between Akpabio and Natasha started in February following a dramatic disagreement over the seating arrangement during the Senate plenary. She later on accused Akpabio of sexual harassment during a TV appearance where she was a guest. And then the senator also approached the Federal High Court seeking an order to restrain the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions from investigating her. Following her ex parte application, the court issued an order on 4th of March restraining the Senate from commencing disciplinary proceedings against her. However, on March 6th, the Senate proceeded to suspend her, citing a committee report alleging gross misconduct. And even as Natasha Akpabio appeared in court, Godswill Akpabio was nowhere to be seen at that court proceedings. Godswill Akpabio was nowhere to be seen. And during the court session, her legal team argued that her suspension was unconstitutional, it was illegal, it was a violation of her mandate as an elected representative of the people. Natasha Akpoti is known for her vocal advocacy on transparency, on human rights, and firmly stood in court, declaring that she will not be silenced by political intimidation from Godswill Akpabio. The court has adjourned the matter to a later date for continued hearing, and observers and civil society groups are closely monitoring this case, viewing it as a litmus test for the independence of the judiciary and the protection of legislative members from political suppression. And Godswill Akpabio was nowhere to be, he did not make any appearance at that court session. He was nowhere to be found. Only Natasha and her legal team, were present at that court. And Godswill Akpabio has insisted that an apology should be made by Senator Natasha Akpoti over the letter she wrote against Godswill Akpabio. So, my country people, what are your thoughts on this? This much anticipated legal trial kicked off without Godswill Akpabio's presence. And, this kind of raises an eyebrow towards Godswill Akpabio. Although Senator Natasha Akpoti arrived at the courtroom under tight security, she maintained her calm as the trial started. And this case is linked to the unresolved allegations stemming from the clash with the Senate leadership over accusations of abuse of power, political witch hunt, and misconduct. And the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, who is believed to be the central to this issue that led to Natasha's suspension, was nowhere to be found in the courtroom. He was absent. And his absence drew criticisms from observers who expected him to be in court to defend his role and to defend the allegations laid against him by Natasha before the court. And Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's legal team has vowed that they will challenge her suspension and prove that the charges against her are politically motivated. Natasha Akpoti supporters gathered around the court premises. They were chanting in solidarity with Natasha and they were demanding justice. Legal experts say this trial could set a major precedent regarding the legislative accountability and eternal Senate politics. Guys, we all know that standing for the truth in Nigeria often comes with its own consequences. But justice must never be delayed, especially in democratic institutions. We really hope that they don't delay this case, they don't drag this case, and they don't extend this case until further notice, because we want justice to be delivered as soon as possible. Nigerians are anticipating for a reasonable justice. So guys, I'm dropping here. Kindly share your thoughts on this in the comment section. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, like, and share this video. Thank you. Bye for now.